Good day and welcome to your program, The Conversation, coming to you from TV360 here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Nesine Kujimi, and I have with me here in the studio Comrade Razak Koladiolokoba RKO. Rozo, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, before we go further, I want to send our belated Christmas greetings to our viewers, as well as wishing us all a happy and prosperous 2024. It is my prayer that 2024 will usher in good tidings for us all, as well as our country, Nigeria, and the world at large. Before we also go further, I want to, commiserate with the government and people of Ondo State over the death of the governor, Governor Arakunri Rotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, who passed to the great beyond yesterday. Our hearts sympathy go to the family, the immediate and extended family, the government and people of Ondo State, as well as his people in Owo and Nigerians as a whole. Wish Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, an eternal rest. On this segment of the program, we want to quickly look at the security assessment, in the country in the last 12 months. On Christmas Eve, there was a report of attack on two communities in Plateau State that resulted in the loss of life of close to 148 to 150 Nigerians, and that has been the talking point in the last couple of days. Luckily for us, or I should say fortunately, the vice president, paid those communities a condolence visit, and it brings to fore once again the issue about our security architecture, where we must commend the previous administration of President Muhammadu Buhari for taking the fight against insurgency into their domain. And as we speak, we hardly hear of Boko Haram any longer, which he met on ground when he came on board. But we have been saddled with insecurity in other facets: banditry, kidnapping, terrorism. We have seen terrorism in the southeast through the terrorist group IPOB BSN. They continue to attack security agencies, as well as public institutions and private citizens. But luckily for us, in the last couple of days, we have seen their activities go down. So looking at security, I think it brings to fore the clamor for the decentralization of our security architecture under a restructuring platform. And for me, I was privileged to attend a farmers meeting, and one of the takeaways from that meeting was that one of the farmers came out and told us that, look, that kidnapping you hear happen here and there, that is being carried out by locals, that a lot of times people tend to ascribe kidnapping to be the work of people from outside a particular community, that it is not true. He gave an example of where he comes from. And he said when the issue of kidnapping became rampant, that they as farmers had to organize themselves and organize security architecture around them, because he told the whole gathering that, look, we know those kidnappers. The community people know them.
That's a good one. That the people, naturally, when your observation about a certain issue is correct, event will ratify it that you are correct. The need for Nigeria to decentralize the security architecture of this country is paramount. And what the farmer said has attested to what we have been saying. We are lucky as a nation that I'm a security consultant, and I share knowledge with people, and people shall also share knowledge with me about how to secure a nation. I'm not a military person, but I acquire the appropriate knowledge.
And what have you?
Yes. And if you look at everywhere in the world, security is best done when it's not over-concentrated in the hand of one person, which is the IG, the DG of SSS, and DG of various security organizations. But when it's decentralized, that's not the case with Nigeria. But the institutions that is protecting the country is a strong one. That is why we've been having a victory by them. Given the capacity of Boko Haram and ISWAP only, is sufficient to have dislodged the entire military, the Air Force, and the naval institution in this country, because they are the fifth, and the fourth and the fifth most deadliest group in the world. So if the military of a nation is confronting that in the north, you are confronting the Niger Delta militants in the south, then the IPOB. These are major groups that any nation that has that kind of a challenge will keep going back to the drawing board because they may likely be decimated. But each time that looks as if they are decimating our military and the Navy and the Air Force, they came out stronger. And that is why we seem not to be paying attention with it. We don't have to continue to pay with the life of our young men, the blood, the life, the way they get killed at battles. We can avert it by what we have said. There is no shortcut to it than for the government to recognize the need to decentralize.
And again, comrade, my major problem listening to you now is that it seems there is need for government, to up the ante with regards to citizens' education and engagement with regards to security. Because when you are talking about security, the average Nigerian there assumes that security, I don't have any business with it.
Yes, it's the
business of the government.
It's a shared responsibility. And that is why we have said it that it starts with the government. Like we have said, there's a need for government to explain what is actually meant by security. Security is explained in a simple way of saying that your life is in your hands.
Yes. And
the more you cooperate with the security agents, the more you'll be secured. The more you distance yourself from the security, I don't trust them, they don't, the more you are in danger. Because see, the institution, either you like it or not, you must relate with them. Everywhere in the world, there's a semblance of concession or devolution of power to secure your life as an individual. In Nigeria, once you have one bullet to one barrel of God that you have, that's all. And armed robbers have this kind of thing at the back of their mind that all the household here, they don't have enough to defend themselves before the police will come. And that's not correct. You must be able to give the citizens the power to defend themselves minimally up to the time security will come. That's one. Then two is that the role of police in Nigeria, you put too much at their hand. There should be forest police. There should be transport police. There should be all sorts of police.
All sorts of security architecture along those sectors in the society.
Even there must be transport police, such that it should not be the police that will be responsible for
crime.
For crime.
For armed robbery.
Armed robbery.
That will be responsible for traffic offense.
When two husband and wife is fighting, it is this regular police.
Violence.
So there should be the federal police.
Yes, there should be those units in
to enforce federal law.
In the police.
There should also be the state, the local police, and peculiar outfit like farmers, police, and also just like the example that we have given, a forest guard and things like that. Yes. If you don't do that, you are this. Because one other way to explain it is that it is smaller crimes that becomes bigger crime.
Yeah.
And it is only the states that have the capacity of preventing smaller crime, like pickpocket. The recruitment center for people who kidnap, who become higher killer, is from pickpocket. They grow from becoming pickpocket to something higher. There's no higher killer today that started his work by being an higher killer force. It started from small crime. And the most appropriate person that can do that is state police, who will give power to locals and enforce law at local levels. When you enforce law at local levels, the recruitment and the capacity to have more people to commit bigger crimes will be limited, will be curbed. So we appeal to the president to look in this direction quickly. That's number one. Then number two is that all the ideologies, the two most popular ideology today that serve as recruitment fencer for Boko Haram, which is also the Islamic ideology. It's not about gun. It's an ideological issue. Empower more Islamic scholars to engage this strange knowledge. This strange knowledge that Islam says so. There are so many similarities between Islam and Christianity that we don't have business fighting each other. There is no business at all. We don't have any reason. The first person Muhammad encountered when he got that revelation was an old Christian man in Mecca. That this is what I see. How do I explain it? He now said, oh, what has happened to Moses? That has also happened to Isa, Jesus Christ. Has happened to you too. That means you are that prophet that they are expecting. If Muhammad had said that we should be clean, why will you go to him? So there are so many instances like that Muhammad said that if you see any Christian anywhere in the world, they are your friend, you must defend them. In fact, you must defend them the way you are going to defend the Muslims. So this kind of knowledge, you need it to get into the midst of people you should relate to. Then the second thing is the ethnic angle to it, which is that the IPOB and issues like that. See, as long as the country did not allow us to address the question of identity, we will continue to have problems. Let's admit.
But even if we have problem of identity,
we have see identity quickly. Identity, it should not be a problem, but it is the way we handle it in Nigeria. That no, we are one in Nigeria. Don't let us discuss it too. In India, they knew that they are not the same. Their parliament speak 4 languages. But we take it to the back burner in Nigeria. And I said, no, don't take it to the back burner. Let all of us know that I'm a Yoruba. Well, we must live under one country. Nobody should jeopardize the unity of this country. But I know you that you are a Igbo man. I'm a Yoruba man. I will not insult your culture. Don't insult my culture.
But if you,
I'm not trample. How do I know your right if you say we should not discuss it? I don't know that.
Because even the Yoruba say, Asha become Ewobomi.
Yes. If you don't discuss, how do I know it? So the more we hide it, till tomorrow, identity will be issues. Well, people will find a way to do something about it. In Great Britain today, which is called the United Kingdom, is the Scottish, is the Welsh, is the Irish, and England, the English people. They have fought battle for thousands of years until they realize that don't let us pretend as if all of us did not exist. Let's admit that we have differences. It is that so for the Igbo in the IPOB too, the best way the IPOB could have handled it was the Nwasurike style. That no, nobody wants to break Nigeria, but what we are saying is that we have a peculiarity. That is the peculiarity that has to do with also the way the Fulani will run their life. We must know that the Fulani people, wherever they go, as part of their dressing code, they must have knife. But we explain to them that this is Southwest too. So also even the Southwest person, we also have to educate them to recognize that this is these people's way of life.
So when it's not that they are going to attack you.
Yes, so and when you get to their own place too.
Yes.
If you see knives all over the place as a dressing code, don't do anything.
Yes,
don't run
away. It's their culture.
That thing will simmer down. And I know the president has the capacity to do that.
And again, let me also tell you, one big problem for me as a Nigerian is the role of elders. You recognize that some of these security challenges that results from communal conflict, a lot of times I ask myself, where are the elders?
Yes.
Because if people from one community have gone to commit havoc from community A have gone to community B, and responsible elders are supposed to mediate,
yes,
to quickly, settle the
but they abhor them.
But they abhor them. So when those ones now retaliate, they will now run to the media and want to paint a picture of being the victim.
Yes.
Meanwhile, they were the aggressors,
yes,
in the first place. So it is also very important that traditional institutions, as well as non-state institutions like youth groups and what have you, we need to bring them all on board.
It was eroded because everybody have their own mechanism of resolving the crisis we have mentioned, not the traditions. But it was eroded. Outside tradition were not allowed to foster. Igbo said, don't discuss Igbo here. Don't discuss Yoruba here. But you know that we have a way of resolving all these crises before. Until such a time you say that, of course, Nigeria is one. But we must be able to understand that respect is reciprocal.
Yeah.
Mentorship is also part of the culture of the African people.
Okay, yeah. I
But
agree.
the Western culture came and said that no, there should be no African traditional culture here. This is a civilized world, and that is why you see young men people today, when they do things at times, in particular when you're driving on the road with them, unapologetic, very insulting, and I say, see, this is not to build society. These young men will lead, but without mentorship, they will not lead well. You as a follower will follow, but what makes people great is mentorship.
Absolutely.
Why would Obama become the president of America if it's not for mentorship and support?
Thank you very much, Comrade Olukoba. I hope, looking forward to 2024, that we'll have a better, improved security architecture. And it is important for our people to recognize that, like we always say, security is everybody's business. Nobody should assume that the providing security is that of the security agencies alone.
That's correct.
Because the security, you must first of all secure yourself before you can secure others. If the security agents cannot secure themselves, how will they be able to secure the people? So it is important for us all to know that the ball is in our court. We all have a role to play in securing Nigeria. Thank you very much for staying tuned to this stanza of the program. We'll go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Please continue to watch the conversation on TV 360. We'll be right back.